teaching. If you're an actor, especially if you've worked in the industry for a long time and had some wins and successes yourself, especially if you've gone through your own training programs, TV, film school, theater school, conservatories, you know a ton that you can help and teach others. You could be teaching kids classes. You could be teaching introduction classes. Sometimes it's opportunities for people who they're not really looking to do acting as a full-time career, but they like the idea of it as a hobbyist. Maybe they want to break out of their shell. So there's adults out there who are interested in learning a little bit more about the industry. You might also have a special skill. If you have accents, certain accents, whether it's your native accent or something that you've learned yourself, or a special skill like stage combat, dancing, what else? Those are the ones that, horseback riding, like literally anything, any sports thing that you do, you could be teaching that. And one thing I'll say, there's a lot of people have imposter syndrome when it comes to teaching, thinking that, oh my God, I'm not a world-class teacher. I'm not the number one person in my industry. If there's people in famous people in master class programs teaching this subject, who am I to teach this? And you don't need to think that way. I think as long as you have a passion for helping other people, it really doesn't matter what level you're at. There's someone newer than you and less experienced than you that can use your experience and use your coaching and teaching to help them get to at least to where you are faster. And someone that I don't know where I heard it, but I heard someone say, every one of us is perfectly positioned to coach and or teach someone to get from where we were to where we are now. So if all of us look back and say, like, where was I 10 years ago? Well, I was just breaking into the acting industry and didn't know any of this stuff. And now I've got 10 years experience, booked tons of roles. I've gone through training classes and other courses and workshops. So all you ever need to do at worst case is think back, where were you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? Can you help someone get from that point to where you are now in a faster, shorter amount of time? And I think the answer is yes to everyone. So, and sometimes people hear that saying of like, what is this stupid saying? Those who do and those who can't teach, or something like that. Yeah, those who can do and those who can't teach. I think that's total bullshit. And I think teaching does require some special skills. It's like you got to have an energy and a passion to be helping people, and a methodology and a system or some process outlines and like a curriculum or something, some structure that you need. But I think some of teaching is not for everyone, but it's certainly not a situation where just because you're teaching means that you've given up on your acting dream, or you're not cut out. Like, I think a lot of people sometimes feel like, oh, if I'm teaching someone, that's going to signal to the world that I've given up on being an actor myself, or a dancer or a writer, or whatever the art is that you're pursuing. People often associate teaching with, oh, they've decided to give up on their dream and now they're just teaching people how to do it. I do think that you should be teaching things that you yourself have done. I think it's very difficult to teach someone to do something that you've never done. There's some lack of alignment there, but as long as you're aligned with what you're teaching and what you've done and what your experience is, I think there's opportunities for everyone there. And you don't need to hear those imposter voices. And you can hear them, but you don't need to listen to them. Teaching kids intro classes, teaching your own special skill, and that can be, again, start simple. If this is overwhelming and you're like, oh my God, that means I got to make a website and I got to do a photo shoot and I got to get a professional copywriter and I got to make sales videos and I got to create a curriculum and do all that. Yeah, you can do that. Or you can do that on the fly and say, hey, listen, everyone, a lot of people have been asking me about teaching XYZ. I've decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my intro class. This is the first time I'm ever going to do it. So as a result, I'm going to make it available for half price. Normally I would charge $500 for this, I'm going to charge $250. Or normally I would charge $100 an hour, I'm going to do this for $50 an hour. And that's a way to start doing it. And the nice thing about that is you can develop the curriculum somewhat on the fly, and you can see what works. You can just ask the people who sign up, okay, what are your problems? What are your obstacles? What are your struggles, challenges? What do you need help with? And you can tailor design your program on the fly with these people and adapt and build it based on what they need help with and what they want, and get feedback from them. And I would also implore you to say, if you're doing this for the first time, tell them the only catch is at the end of the program, I would like a testimonial in exchange for the fact that I'm doing this for the first time and offering this for half price. I would like a testimonial so that you can build up a testimonial. Rather than, again, a lot of people think, oh, I got to spend 6 months developing an online course, or I got to spend I got to make 20 videos online and spend 6 months only to find out that nobody wants what you made. So you could do something called the shot across the bow, where you on social media just say, hey, what do you guys need help with? I've been thinking about teaching this, and this. Who's interested? And then when the people come in and say, all right, I got 8 people who are interested. Normally in the future, I'm going to charge X dollars for this. This is the first time offering it. So as an intro level, I'm going to do it half price, but I would like a testimonial. And at the end, I would like some feedback to help me optimize this program and optimize this training. So there's ways to get started without feeling overwhelmed. You could start, again, you could literally make a Facebook post or an Instagram post today, and someone's in your DMs. And even if that's one-on-one is a great way to start, because you can give that person extra attention. You don't have the some of the what do you call it, like pressure of, oh, I'm doing this to 10 people and I've never done this in front of 10 people here, and I'm coaching and teaching this big class. You start one-on-one with someone. You might know someone who just on the side wants to learn some of this stuff, and you just coach them one-on-one as their own personal trainer, and that gives you an opportunity to practice and give them special attention with what they need. And speaking of that, actually, Brandon, you've started to do that here at Actors Audition Club. We're running Tuesday classes and Thursday classes, Tune-Up Tuesdays and Thespian Thursdays. And Brandon is one of our directors who you haven't necessarily had a ton of formal teaching training where you're teaching groups, but you've coached and trained people one-on-one here in their audition sessions, helping them with their self-tapes. So all that is now you're adapting that to a group setting and working with a group on Thursdays here. So anyone in the Toronto area who wants to join our Thespian Thursdays, Brandon's helping run those. And online, we're going to run those for everyone globally who's a member or a non-member. You can go to laughingvikings.com/workouts. We do those 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And Brandon, you had the opportunity to do that last time. So you're a perfect testimonial to how you can do something that maybe you have never done before, but you have all the skills and training and knowledge that you can pass on to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I always like to think of it as the more lessons or more mistakes, the more lessons you've learned. And I've fumbled a lot throughout my 21 years of doing this profession and doing this as a practice. And like, we all learn as we go, right? The more we do, the better we grow, the better we learn. And if we do it together, the better we are as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, literally a great name for a course could be, here are the top 15 things I fucked up as an actor and how to avoid them. These are the 9 mistakes I made during my acting career and how you can avoid them. It's like that. Some of the fastest ways. You don't need to teach everything to everyone, but if you help them fix or avoid one pitfall or one mistake, you've done them a huge service that they may have never learned, or they would have had to learn by making the mistake themselves.